And we've been getting you continuing coverage of Francois Hollande's visit to India. In fact, just a short while back, he paid his tributes at Rajghat, and right now he is at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. As you can see, alongside him is the President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, who is greeting him. This is the ceremonial welcome being extended to the French President, Francois Hollande.
Je veux également saluer l'honneur qui m'est fait, puisque demain je participerai à ce défilé pour l'anniversaire de la Constitution. Et ce sera une fois encore l'occasion de rappeler les liens.
Well, it's going to be an important day for the French president just ahead of his participation in the Republic Day parade tomorrow. In fact, he is the special guest for tomorrow's Republic Day parade. But ahead of that, he has a busy day today. He's going to be meeting the president as he is now. And later in the day, he would also be meeting the External Affairs Minister, Sushma Swaraj, along with the Congress President, Sonia Gandhi. 16 crucial pacts have already been signed with India. It's going to be a packed day for the French president, who is the guest of honor for this year's Republic Day celebrations. The French dignitary also met business leaders early this morning. He is also accompanied by a high-powered business delegation from France. Terror, of course, is going to be on top of the agenda between the French president and, of course, the Indian Prime Minister. Question and answers, they're happening right now. We are getting a translation of what Francois Hollande had to say. Let's just listen in.
The aims of my visit here in India is to reinforce and strengthen the cooperation against terrorism between our two countries. And I would also like to mention that I'm very honored to be here.
Let's go straight now to our Deputy Editor, Smita Sharma, who is getting us detailed coverage of the French President's visit to the national capital, to India. Smita, this is a big honor indeed for India, isn't it? Especially coming in the wake of the terror attacks that has happened on French soil and even on India's soil.
Well, yes, Avastika, and this is in fact one of the elements that binds India and France together as well. The fact that both the countries have been victims of terrorism. As India has had its 26/11, and remember in November, when we saw those Paris attacks happen on 13th of November last year, that bloodshed across the theaters, across the softer targets. A lot of the people in France were actually tweeting. Some were calling it France's 9/11. Some were calling it France's 26/11. So that's, of course, the thread that binds, and both these countries have been, of course, deepening their counterintelligence cooperation. The two armies have been doing bilateral exercises together under this Operation Shakti since 2011. Maritime, in fact, dialogue is something that has just recently started. So this is the reason why these two countries need to be on this together and make sure to strategize together as well.
And Smita, I'll talk about the defense and business deal a little while later. But speaking about terror, because as you rightly said, that is one area that, binds the two countries. And India, in fact, has been pitching for a collective fight to defeat, terror, the menace of terrorism. How exactly are both the countries planning to work together to, eradicate or probably fight the menace of terror?
Look, it's about various levels, because today, of course, it's about intelligence sharing, which is something that India has deepened over the years, especially in the wake of the Mumbai attacks with countries including America, France, because the Mumbai attacks, we saw several foreign nationals being killed as well in cold blood by those 10 terrorists who had come in, including Ajmal Kasab. So, of course, while there are pacts that are being signed, we are expecting more counter-terror pacts this afternoon. Once, of course, that working lunch concludes between the two sides, the restricted and the delegation level talks between Narendra Modi and President Hollande. The other thing is about trying to build international pressure in the last 24 hours itself. If you see the kind of comments that have come in from Francois Hollande, he gave in that interview to Press Trust of India, where he said that India was absolutely justified in seeking justice in the recent Pathankot attack, and that Pakistan must act to ensure that the perpetrators are sent behind bars. Yesterday, Barack Obama also gave an interview where he came out very strongly and said that Pakistan needs to do much more than what it is doing at the moment. So in international organizations like the UN, its countries, it's the P5 powers that can really build upon consensus to try and make sure that there are resolutions that are moved against terror organizations and terror heads which are acting against India's interests as well. But at the end of the day, what I've always pressed on, India, of course, needs to work on its own foolproof mechanism and defense securities. And that's another area where, the French military can work hand in hand with the Indian army too.
Absolutely. And, Smita, France and India and in particular, the Prime Minister and the President have shared a very close relationship. Both the countries have shared very close bilateral ties in the recent years, with the French President also saying that the main aim of his visit is to consolidate a strategic partnership between the two nations. He interestingly has even affirmed his commitment to build, the smart cities, something that our very own Prime Minister has been so passionate about.
Look, there are various sectors that India and France, are closely cooperating with. It's not just about the Rafale deal that we have been talking about. There's much more to it. Though technically speaking, the trade opportunities between the two countries today remain much more higher than the $8 billion figures that we look at, of which India actually exports to around $5 billion to France. But France is such an important voice in the European Union itself. The smart city project, high-speed railways, where France is undertaking a study in the Delhi-Chandigarh sector, maritime technology, biotechnology, wind, solar energy, climate change. These are all crucial areas where the two countries are now building upon their partnership.
All right, Smita, thank you so much for joining us. We, of course, will keep coming back to you through the day.
EU MLA Sarfaraz Alam, along with his two associates, have been granted bail. However, they have been asked to cooperate with the investigation and their passports have been seized. The JDU lawmaker was...